The sun dipped low behind the grand stone mansion, throwing warm golden light across the courtyard as millionaire Zayden Malik stepped out of his sleek black car, loosening his tie after another exhausting day of running the largest real estate empire in the city. His heart felt heavy, as it always did when he approached home, a place filled with wealth, silence, and an ache he could never show. His little daughter, Aya, barely 2 years old, had never spoken a single word since birth. Doctors called it selective mutism. Therapists said she needed time. But Zayden called it his greatest failure as a father, blaming himself for not being present enough, not loving enough, not being the man his late wife would have wanted him to be. He walked slowly toward the entrance, expecting the same quiet routine, until he froze. There, on the courtyard tiles illuminated by the sunset, sat Aya, smiling. Her tiny hands clapped in excitement as she stared at the young cleaning lady, Alina, who knelt in front of her, her black and white uniform slightly dusty from kneeling on the ground. Alina, newly hired, soft-spoken, barely 22, was someone Zayden never paid much attention to, another staff member among many. But something about this moment felt different, almost magical. And as he watched from the doorway, hidden in the shadows, he witnessed something he hadn't seen in years, his daughter laughing, not forced, not encouraged, but naturally, freely, joyfully. Aya reached out her tiny hand toward Alina, who smiled gently back, touching the child's palm with such tenderness that Zayden felt something twist inside him. For months, the mansion staff tried to connect with Aya, feeding her, dressing her, caring for her, but none had ever been able to get so close. She avoided touch, avoided eye contact, avoided voices. But here she was, clapping, grinning, her blue dress fluttering slightly as she leaned forward toward Alina like she trusted her completely. Zayden, breath caught in his throat, stepped closer, quietly, slowly, as if afraid his presence would shatter the moment. He saw Alina speaking to Aya in the softest tone, not quite words, more like a melody, gentle hums, rhythmic whispers, comforting sounds. It wasn't what she said, it was how she said it, as though she spoke directly to the child's heart. Then, it happened. Aya opened her mouth. A sound escaped. Not a word, not yet, but a soft whisper, small and fragile, like the first fluttering of wings from a bird learning to fly. Alina's eyes widened, filling with tears. She leaned closer, encouraging, whispering something soothing. Aya responded again with the same faint whisper. Zayden's entire world stopped. His briefcase slipped from his hand and thudded against the ground, but neither Alina nor Aya noticed. He felt his knees weaken. His daughter, the same child doctors claimed might never speak, had just produced her first sound, not for him, not for therapy sessions, but for a cleaning lady he barely knew. His throat tightened painfully. For years he had built an image, a powerful man, unshakable, unbreakable. But right now he felt fragile, completely undone. Alina finally noticed him when she turned slightly, wiping tears from her eyelashes with the back of her hand. She gasped softly and tried to stand, but Aya clung to her apron, refusing to let go. Zayden raised a hand weakly, signaling her to stay where she was. What did you do?" he whispered, his voice cracking despite his effort to keep it steady. Alina swallowed nervously. "Sir, I didn't do anything special. I just gave her time. And I listened." Aya tugged Alina's apron, pointing toward Zayden, as if telling her to continue. The child had never done that before. Zayden knelt slowly beside them, his expensive suit brushing the sandy ground, not caring about the dust or the scratches. "Aya," he whispered softly, terrified to scare her. She looked at him, really looked at him, her blue eyes shining with recognition and something he hadn't seen directed at him in months, trust. Then she lifted her hand toward him, and whispered again, the softest little exhale that made his heart break open. Zayden covered his mouth with his hand, tears burning behind his eyes. He hid them quickly, turning his face away so neither of them would see. He was a millionaire. A tycoon. A man feared in boardrooms. Yet the smallest sound from his own daughter had brought him to his knees. When he finally regained his breath, he whispered to Alina, "Please, stay. Don't go anywhere. I need to understand how you did this." Alina nodded, still emotional. "Sir, sometimes children don't need loud voices. They just need gentle ones." Aya leaned into Alina's chest, giggling softly. Zayden watched them, realizing painfully that this young woman, humble, unnoticed, underappreciated, had just given him a gift no amount of wealth could buy: hope. Hope that his daughter's silence wasn't permanent. Hope that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't as lost a father as he believed. And for the first time in years, Zayden whispered something he never thought he'd say: thank you. He didn't know yet that this was only the beginning of healing, of love, of a truth that would shake his world. But as the sun disappeared and Aya whispered again into Alina's arms, Zayden realized one thing: miracles don't always come from doctors or fortune, sometimes they come from the people we overlook the most.